talk about everything, play music in between. Tune in and enjoy Chad's underground scene. Talking music, you know what I mean. Tune in and enjoy Chad's underground scene.
Welcome to Chad's Underground Scene. We are here in downtown LA at the Oracle Tavern with my special guest today, Tequila Mockingbird.
Hello.
How you doing, Tequila?
Hey.
So we go way back and we go way forward now, I guess. We're going to keep playing together probably till we die.
And
hopefully.
Beyond.
Yeah.
And beyond.
And beyond. That would be even funner, right? In the afterlife.
Yes, yes. There's always...
Playing some punk rock together, yeah.
Yes, we will. We shall. Let's make a date now.
That's
the future is
That's
ours.
Yeah. So let's start the show, since we're at the Oracle.
Yes.
With your latest thing that you're doing to get people together, because this is what I love about you. You always getting people together and supporting the scene. And
I
telling everybody, including the bands, don't stab each other in the back. Help each other and we'll all have a bigger scene. And that has been an influence on me from you, from years ago when you
And you notice all my shows are free.
Yes.
Because I want to just get us all together and like our little family, our little art, music, and time travel family.
Right. So tell us a little bit about your latest encounter here with the Oracle Tavern.
So the Oracle is a manifestation of my friend Jennifer and her husband's dream. And so here it exists. But it was originally where I had the Punk Rock Museum Gallery. And for 12 years I would just throw parties for my friends here.
Right, yeah.
So, like, have my friends play and have them come. It's just, community. Brouhaha.
And everybody get together and have a good time, right?
That's right. It's a punk museum.
And share their stories.
If it's a punk museum, that means it's going to have the paintings from the time, the photographs from the time, the etchings from the time. Like ska people are welcome. like they're special. Goths are especially welcome.
Yes. And the death rockers.
We do death rockers. Yeah. Even a little tinge of heavy metal back there, but punk rock most of all.
Which was all the same scene. We all hung out together.
We didn't have that many names for that stuff then.
Yes.
It was just music and we liked it or we didn't like it. But it was really the scene. It was people who dressed up and messed up.
So tell us a little bit about the museum since we're on that subject.
So what I did with the museum is I would have my favorite artists come and put their work up and recreate the feeling of the 80s and then put the music together that would sound like it would in the day and like have people sell their books about punk and kind of like a festival of punk whenever I do the museum. And have all my artists so you can meet them, and then I have my favorite musicians play, and we do all that here at the Oracle. So in a way, the Oracle has evolved into this new space where like I have your band
where
play,
you're doing live shows, right?
And I do live shows outside every Sunday from 6 to fuck all, and.
So tell us a little bit about that. How does that work? What bands are you bringing in? And it's kind of loosey-goosey, and I like it.
It is loosey-goosey because it's only my friends get to play. This is straight up nepotism. If I knew you during the punk rock days, or you're referred by a friend of mine from the punk rock days, between 74 and 84 specifically, because I'm a snob, and and we old people deserve something. So yeah.
And it's a really good time. It's usually 2 or 3 bands,
Yes.
And your band always plays, but you never know when
What
you're going to
we're gonna
play. What and when, right?
Yes, when or what, yes.
So Tequila Mockingbird and the Blonde Moon Dust, right? That's the right name.
Yeah.
And they come in and you're not sure when they're going to play, and she's very flexible, helping the bands move to different spots if we need to. If somebody gets held up in traffic, somebody jumps up earlier, and then, or you'll jump up earlier and cover.
It's like family,
Yeah.
you know. We gotta help each other out. You know, it's been tough. It's a pandemic. They tried to kill us. The government. It's been a bad time for everybody.
Yes.
So, like, I try and keep my friends together, and I like it that we're still alive, and I do what I can for the scene.
And yeah, and then we have so many stories to tell each other, right, from the day.
Old school, big
Yeah.
time.
And so I've played here a couple of times with your band, and I've come here several times other than that, and your band always has a little something different going on, and I love that.
My project is based on time travel, so I expect that when you come here, I might be doing 60s music, I might be doing 80s music, but I don't do anything after the 80s because that was when the world ended.
Right. Kind of. It did, yes. And you can tell now because the younger people now are into 80s music. So I think they're trying to get back. They feel the vibe that we had. We had such a fun vibe, so much fun hanging out with each other, and our F the world attitude, right?
Yeah, but you can't fake it. And I think
Yeah,
that, you know,
you can't,
what's happening now is more like, the other day I heard that Justin Bieber and Kylie Jenner are considered punk rockers, and that was it. You know, it's like, okay, now it's a 4-letter word. I'm not really interested that much today.
Yeah, because that's pop music, right?
I like pop music. This is not that.
Yes, yeah. it's pop music trying to be punk rock.
They're trying so hard.
Yeah, and it's something
and you
from your
can't try.
soul.
Punk is not.
It's something from your soul.
Yeah.
And it's not even music. It's actually just a thing. It's a thing, right? It's just something that's in you that you have to do once in a while, or all the time, depending on who you are.
You are a punk. You know, Einstein was a punk. He's like, oh, I'm not brushing my hair. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you know, that's what it's like.
Yeah, and that's a good example. There's so many people in history you can go back to, look at them, and go, punk.
Yeah. Nero, bad musician. Fiddling while Rome burned, you know. That was pretty punk rock.
Yes. Okay, so now we're going to break away, and we're going to show you a video of me and also of Tequila Mockingbird and the Blonde Moon Dust from the Oracle. This one's called Silence.
No one is out there all lights down low. Turn up the music slow. All the cats here. The picture? No, 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 yes. Look at the night time. Look at the night time. I never knew.
Hope you enjoyed the music and the videos that we showed you. So let's go to something I heard about. I haven't been to any of these things because I'm probably not allowed. Tell us a little bit about Tierra Palooza.
Okay, so as I've been saying, I've been looking for diversions for my friends during the pandemic so that we didn't all go completely stark raving mad. So my girlfriends, you know, they weren't brushing their hair and they weren't like putting on clothes, you know, things like that, you know, like not leaving the house for like a year at a time. So I thought I'd put together like a project to inspire them to dress up once a week and put on their tiara because they're all queens and they have to remember that they're queens. So they have to wear a tiara and they have to write a poem about whatever they feel every week. And so it's called Tiara-Palooza, and we meet online and we have Wake and Bake Fridays where we meet up online and talk about what happened to us during the week. And it's just a kind of mental health.
I was going to say, it's like a support group, right?
Yeah, support group for girls with
That's
tiaras,
awesome.
yeah.
And I know you love tiaras.
I do. I'm very fond of things that glitter and shine.
So I have one of my daughters is into tiaras. She buys those when we go to different places. She'll buy a tiara.
Excellent, excellent. You know, she should join my club.
Yeah.
I would love to have her.
And she especially loves it when she goes to like an antique store and finds one.
I haven't found any in the antique stores because anything I want is like $250,000.
Oh, right.
It's so sad that I don't have the money to buy these things, but I do collect them on Tiara-Palooza so that you get to see the tiaras and you read the history of the ladies that wore them and what happened in Europe and the history of the Romanovs and what's going on with the queens in Africa and what's happening with the queens in Israel and you know, anyone who identifies with the word queen, except for it's a real straight girls club.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's about just, you know, and I call it all the jewelry. I like get the most expensive jewelry in the world and I show it, and it's so that you have a mental jewelry box where you put everything you like, so you keep liking things that you like and you see things in it. I think it helps people get through stuff to have like these, just like this is your mental jewelry box and oh, I'd like that in there or I'd like this in there. It kind of, because you're supposed to manifest things like that. So Tiara-Palooza is a club for girls and boys who like tiaras.
So that this is awesome because I'm a big supporter of helping mental health because we all have issues with mental health. I do, and everybody I know does, right? And I'm very impressed with the younger generation because they're doing a little bit better job in a lot of ways with that. They're trying to beat down the stigma that we've had in our generation, right? There was a big stigma with mental health. You don't want to admit it. You don't want to talk to anybody. And then look at that guy, right? And that's not how you help, right?
I really didn't know anybody that wasn't crazy, so
yeah.
I felt like, you know, I mean, I've been institutionalized because my mother didn't believe me when I said something. So that doesn't make me sick, it makes her sick.
Right, yes. And,
so you have to, you know, blame the universe and stop blaming yourself.
And it's the treatment, it's society's treatment of people that causes a lot of this, right? And my daughter was on a couple of talk shows and they talked about it and it was great. It was like they were sitting drinking tea talking about mental health and how we can help our friends, how we can help each other with mental health, and that's a long way from when I was a kid, right? It was a stigma, don't talk about it, don't do it, pretend you don't have it.
Right, yeah, no, I wore it like a badge of honor. It's like, I'm crazy because you suck.
yeah.
You suck.
And that was our only way out. But now it looks like there's going to be some other alternatives.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'll show us the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show us the way to the whiskey bar. For if I don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. goodbye. We've lost our dear old mama. I must have whiskey or you know why. A moon of Alabama, we now must say goodbye. Oh, we've lost our dear old mama, and must have whiskey or you know why. Show us the way to the next pretty boy. Oh, don't ask why. No, don't ask why. Show us the way to the pretty boys. For if I don't find the next pretty boy, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die. A moon of Alabama, we now must say goodbye. We've lost our dear old mama, and must have pretty boys, you know why. A moon of Alabama, we now must say goodbye. We've lost our dear old mama, and must have pretty boys, you know why. A moon of Alabama, we know must say goodbye. We've lost our dear old mama, and must have pretty boys, you know why. A moon of Alabama, we now must say goodbye. We've lost our dear old mama, and must have pretty boys, you know why. I'll show us the way to the next little dollar. Oh, don't ask why. No, don't ask why. Show us the way to the little dollars. For if I don't find the next little dollar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die. A moon of Alabama, we know must say goodbye. We've lost our dear old mama, and we must have dollars or you know why. Oh, moon of Alabama, we now must say goodbye. We've lost our dear old mama, and must have whiskey or you know why.
Okay, we're back. I hope you enjoyed the video now that Tequila and her band showed you the way.
That
Let's
way.
go, yeah,
That way.
to the next. Okay, so let's go back in time now. So, because I met you probably late 70s, early 80s, right?
Yes.
And at Hollywood. We're all hanging out in Hollywood doing the punk rock thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the way we were raised.
So let's talk a little bit about that, and then we'll expand on it, because you not only wrote for magazines, you hung out in the scene, you set up shows, and you played and sang all throughout. You were in several different bands, played a lot of music, and contributed to the scene in a great way.
Thank you.
So let's go back to the beginning of that, and how did you get into writing for the newspapers? Or I guess back then they called them rags,
I was
right?
writing for Scratch. Scratch magazine, and then that became Rock City News, and I wrote for that for 30 years, and then he started this marijuana magazine, and then I wrote for that, and then he made an actors magazine, Reuben Blue.
Yeah, Reuben.
He
Yeah.
made an actors magazine, and I wrote for that. And then I started writing for Venice magazine and doing like interviews with Timothy Leary and Julie Newmar and people like that. And then I went from there to writing for, like, now I write for Lost Anarchy, Hollywood Times, LA Beat.
LA Beat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, which I love. So, like, yeah, I write for people because I like to see things and then write it down and internalize it, spit it back out on a page, and invite my friends to love it as much as I do. Because I don't write about shit I don't like, because there's not enough time in the day.
Right. And what I loved about that is those magazines or papers were real. When we played shows or we went to shows, all those people were there. Right, Reuben Blue was there, you were there, there's all the different writers were there. He didn't just say, go write something and send it to me. He said, you're writing, so you're going to be at all these shows, right? Everyone went to the shows, they all hung out.
Because we wanted to be there.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and they hung out and they were part of the scene. They weren't just a writer that showed up at a show and wrote this thing.
Exactly.
They showed up because they were there every week, or they were there twice a week, or they were there every day.
I've always, and I try to write about people I like because I see no reason to give press to people I don't like. So.
And that was another thing I was going to say about it. What was great is there was some negative in there, but not a lot. Mostly positive. If it was something you didn't like, you just didn't write about it.
Well, I don't know.
And it wasn't
there was always
in there.
la-di-da.
Yeah, no, but
You
that's
could say
yeah.
that sucked and this sucked and that sucked.
That had its place, right?
That was sucking, you know. Different adjectives and verbs were used. I mean, those were the days for that, but still, all in all, I hate to waste my time with, like, because there's so much negative that they don't deserve it.
Yeah, and then when you covered a show, it wasn't just the headliner. You did a little write-up about every band that played,
Exactly.
which was great.
I
That's
still
what it
write
should
for
be.
Lost Anarchy, which is Mojo,
Yeah, mhm,
which
yeah.
is, you know, Danny, right?
Right, yeah.
Danny Christ.
Yeah.
He keeps getting banned. The names have to change all the time. But he's pretty fun. His stuff is wrong
Yeah.
on every level, which makes it exciting.
Which, yeah.
He's not
And
buying
makes you, and
into
you're riveted. You want to read it. Yeah.
He's not buying into anybody's rock and roll. He's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
fucking, you know, on top of it.
And that's what punk rock was about in that whole scene.
Yeah.
Even
you know,
like you said, even the metal crowd fit in.
everybody's like, oh, the Rolling Stones. And I'm like, isn't that like necrophilia? I mean, I'm sorry.
Right.
My friends are like, oh. I'm like, I'm getting some sleep.
So tell us maybe a couple of or maybe one of the best stories you have from that time of something maybe you did, a party you went to, or a club you went to that was just outstanding.
Okay, so one time I was at the Palace in the center of Hollywood with Lemmy because he was doing his gig with Motorhead, and I had refused to see Motorhead for 25 years. I was like, you have long hair. I know you hang around all the time, but I'm really not into long-haired guys. I know you want me to see your band. He's like, oh, come see my band. I'm like, he's been asking me for years. Fuck it, I'll go. So I'm going to Lemmy's show. So I'm like, okay, he likes like hooker-looking chicks. So I'll wear my little black mini skirt, the leather one with this like little French slit up the side, and my like come fuck me high heels that could be mistaken for handles, and little low cut blouse, you know, just because I know that's what Lemmy likes. And I thought eye candy and a big, you know, buffanti black wig like the Shirelles or something.
Right, yeah.
Girl, I gave Girl 1964 Girl the way he likes Girl. So I was close enough to blow him during the whole show, like just like right there in the front row. Didn't mind almost losing my hearing. Didn't go insane. Everything was great. And as I'm walking out of the venue, this like skinhead boy walks up, and he's just with his girlfriend. And he accidentally bumps into me, and I say, "Ow!" And so Lemmy's like, "Come upstairs." So I go upstairs, and we're drinking. It's the after party, and we are drinking this bottle of Jack Daniels. It's this big and like that wide, and we're like.
So he was the real deal, right? He's not faking it.
Oh no, we're freaking kidding me? Fake? That word doesn't even fit with that guy.
No.
He's like, we're drinking and drinking and drinking, and we're going around the room, and he's talking to his friends, and I'm talking to my friends, and our friends are all our friends, and our friends are friends of friends, so we're all yapping it up, and everything's great, and he gets together with me, and we're drinking, and then all of a sudden, I go, "Libby, my foot hurts," and I look down, and my toe had been sliced in half by the guy in the metal boots downstairs, but it was so sharp, I didn't feel it. So Lemmy looks down, and there's blood all over the floor, all over the freaking upstairs second floor of the freaking palace, right? And Lemmy looks at me and he says, "Tequila, you're always causing trouble."
That would be him, yeah. So, do you regret you missed a lot of those years of his punk? Because he was punk rock from day one, from the get-go.
No, see, like, it was that I wouldn't see his band because I thought Filthy was my boyfriend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Filthy became my boyfriend, and that's why I couldn't sleep with Lemmy. Because,
oh, okay. There you go.
Because Filthy was my boyfriend. Because Filthy was his drummer.
Right, yeah.
It's like, you know, this big with big hair, and he was like an amazing, cool guy, great drummer.
Great drummer and cool guy. Just hung out in the scene. And
I had Mitch Mitchell from Jimi Hendrix Experience as my drummer first, so he was friends with Mitch, and so I kind of got adopted. So Mitch wasn't my boyfriend, you know, but Filthy was. So I always hung around with Lemmy, but he had the utmost respect for me because, like, you don't cross a brother. Though he had done it in the past, he had learned his lesson, and I, of course, would never cross the brother line.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So. But anyway, those were my boys, and that was who I was rolling with, and that was what happened when I went to his gig for the first time, and the blood was all over the floor, and it was mine.
Yeah, and that whole scene in the 80s was sweet. So, how many nights a week do you think you were going out, and how many clubs in one night?
Definitely 3 clubs a night. 3 clubs a night, because I had to pick bands for New Wave Theater, so I had to be at 3 clubs every night just to pick, you know, the cream of the crop from each show.
So that's hilarious that you say that, because I wrote a song called Legend, and it's about the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and in the song I talk about because one of my bands played 3 clubs in one night. And I wrote the song, and they said 3 clubs in one night.
That was how you did it.
Right, and then there was another one where I did in Vegas, and I was talking about, it's a song about Vegas, and I did the same thing. I used the 3 clubs a night.
Yeah, totally. That's what.
But this one is 3 clubs a night, and then it's followed with Cantors with your friends, because after the 3 clubs, we went to Cantors. Because we didn't have enough of each other.
Okie Dog.
Yeah, or Okie Dog, because we didn't have enough of each other.
We went to Okie Dog or the Zero.
Yeah.
We stayed up all night long.
And Chips was another one.
Yep. Ben Franks.
But it was funny. It was not unusual to go to 3 clubs, because you would go to the early club, then you would just go see a friend's band, right? You'd see their band, and then you'd go to another club, and then you'd go to the after hours, and then you're going to, like you said, Ben Franks, or you're going to.
Well,
Okie Dogs.
It used to be for me that I lived in the Zero for a while because I was helping curate the art. So David Lee Roth was like one of the secret co-owners.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he never went home, never went home. And he's like a great guy. He makes you
Yeah.
laugh all the time.
Oh, yeah,
He's funny. He's a funny boy. David is a funny boy. So David would party all night with us. He'd show up at midnight. He'd party all night. The sun would come up and he'd be like, "Oh, Tequila, let's go over to the, you know that club on Selma?
Oh yeah. So,
The like gay club, the crazy ass
Yeah.
club. Let's go get drinking." So we go there. Then that club, remember that club across from on Vine Street that used to be a little tiny itsy bitsy club?
oh yeah. What is the
Yeah,
name of
right.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know, the Zero was also above that.
And it was
at one
tiny. You
point.
go in there, and sometimes there'd only be like 8 people in there, but it was happening.
It was morning though, you know, it'd be like 6 a.m. It's like we already partied all night. We
And
already-
went to Canners, and now you're there.
And yeah, this is like 6 a.m. We're going night clubbing again until like 10 o'clock, and then we go home and go to bed.
Yeah.
10 a.m. So the pandemic has me kind of confused. So like my schedule now is I go to bed at 9 or 10. I wake up at 3 a.m. and I go to bed at 7 a.m. and then I wake up at 10 a.m.
Yeah, and do it all over again.
Yes. So, but still, I'm kind of still on the same schedule. I'm still up at 3:30 in the morning. It's like for that minute, it's
Yeah.
golden time.
And that's a beautiful time to be up, by the way. It's so peaceful and nice and quiet. It's lovely.
3:33.
Yeah.
That's the time.
So, I say we have finished the show now because we had such a great time talking about all these different things. So tell us the websites to go to find you.
Well, you can look me up on Facebook. I'm all over the place. I have Tequila Mockingbird, Tequila Mockingbird, Tequila and the Blonde Moon Dust. And then I have the LAPunkMuseum.com. I feel like Darby asked me to take care of punk rock, so I talk to Pat about it all the time, Pat Smear. We're working on a secret project together. And I've been working with him on that. But
Nice.
still, you know, it's like about preserving punk. That is my primary objective. And the history of the future and the future of the past. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, I did my show with Don Bowles, and that was awesome. And he was talking about them. And Pat Smear is somebody that keeps coming up. Everybody loves that guy.
great guy.
Right?
Great guy.
He's such a super nice guy, and everybody I talk to loves him. There's nobody that has anything bad to say about him.
Well, there's nothing to say. He's
And
an
it's-
angel.
and-
I mean, if you ask him, he'd say he was a devil. Like
Yeah.
Once I said, "Oh, Pat, I'm so proud of you. You've gotten it together, and you have a baby, a little girl, and you take care of her, and
Yeah.
you're really sweet to her, and everything's great." And he said, "Tequila, I am still a fuck up."
No, and this is real, and this is real punk rock, right?
That's punk rock.
He's
that's what punk rock
he's a lover.
is.
He's not a hater. He's a lover.
Exactly. Punk rock used to be for lovers.
Yeah.
It did.
And then you would surround yourself with others, but it all worked out in the end
Yes.
because we protected each other, took care of each other. right?
Yes, and we shall continue to by watching Chad's show.
That's it. Yes, we're keeping punk alive, right?
That's right. Let's keep it alive, folks.
So thank you for coming out and enjoying Chad's underground scene with my special guest, Tequila Mockingbird. And remember, it all starts in the underground.
In the Garden of Eden, honey, don't you know that I love you? In the Garden of Eden, baby, don't you know that I always get Oh, won't you come with me? And take my hand. Oh, won't you come with me and walk in the land? Please take my hand. and the reason, baby. Don't you know that I'll always be true? Oh, won't you comfort me and take my hand? Oh, won't you comfort me and walk this land? Please take Garden of Eden, honey. Don't you know that I love you? I love you. 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 I love you.
We talk about everything, play music in between. Tune in and enjoy Chad's underground scene. Talking music, you know what I mean.